Hello everyone, hope that you are very well and welcome to tonight's live stream where we actually have so much packed into this one. I want to be talking you over a potential, I'm going to be talking about a potential 30% correction on Bitcoin. I want to be talking about the levels that we can be looking for before we get this correction. I want to be talking you through some actual trading secrets that you're going to see on the Bitcoin chart, how these patterns are printed, why these patterns are printed, and what's the need of doing certain patterns on the Bitcoin chart. And yeah, if we have time, we're going to pack in some altcoins into this one as well. Maybe looking at Ethereum, Cardano, and the popular one at the moment, Chiliz, or something like this, CHZ. Obviously sponsored by Man City and all this now. But yeah, this is a really anticipated video for, I think, pretty much lots of people are really looking forward to this one. Even I had the feeling nervous for this video. I feel it's going to be really good. I will say this is a live stream that I really recommend that you just, I really think you're going to have to watch this live stream tonight twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. You want to watch this live stream until you're understanding everything that I'm talking about, because yeah, it's going to be really good. So I hope that you do really enjoy it. I'm going to have some fun on it as always. And let me just make sure everything sounds and looks okay. Yes, we have everybody in here. Hello, everybody. Hope that you are all doing very well. And yeah, you're looking forward to the show that we have tonight. Talking about Bitcoin, talking about trades. I actually have something really specific that I want to get through. So I do have like an order of proceedings to today's video. So it's not just scrambled up, random, what's going on here. I want to talk about, I want to actually talk you through first these 5 trades. Really important to bringing us up to where we are and what's happening right now. Okay, it's extremely important that you understand this before we get on to what's happening here. We are not in any immediate danger or emergency right now, so we can literally see this on the lower term timeframes. We are going absolutely sideways. Should this start to move during the stream, I will pause what I'm talking about and we'll go straight over to the price action. That I will say. If we do get a sudden move, I will pause what I'm talking about and we'll go straight to the action as it's happening. Okay. But as it stands, we're absolutely sideways here on the Bitcoin chart, which is perfect for what I want to talk you through first of all, which is the past 5 trades here on the Bitcoin chart. You might say, why are you going to talk us through these trades? And really, I am going to be talking you through these trades I truly believe if you fully can pay attention, there is a lot of value and information and insights that you can take from these trades. Okay, it's the same theory that I'm using for the current trade right now. This is why it's so important that you understand these prior trades to know what we're trading right now. Okay, so yeah, the order of proceedings basically is going to be this. I want to talk you through these trades. I can imagine this is going to take maybe 5-10 minutes per trade. So the first half an hour, I would imagine, is going to be talking you through this, making sure you understand and are learning from this. It's so important that you have the mindset tonight of empowering yourself, learning, and, wanting to be better. I really feel that I can truly help you if you pay attention to these trades. I then want to cover that. I then want to talk you through what's happening right now on the lower term timeframes. And then I want to give you my perspective of how we could be looking for a significant, let's just say, retracement on the Bitcoin chart. Okay, why these reasons why the reasons that I'm going to be telling you, and talking you through so you're actually ready. So you're not going to be caught in the moment thinking, oh, what do I do next? But you're going to be ready and you're going to be prepared. Yeah, I feel that that's the biggest thing that you're just going to be ready for it. And then depending on the time limits, that might be bringing us up to an hour. I'm not too sure, but if we have time, I will cover Ethereum, I will cover Cardano, and I will cover that CHZ altcoin, just because a lot of requests about it. So yeah, then we'll see how it goes. I guess we can end with some questions and answers. So should you have some very important questions that you really want me to answer, of course, we can do that. So yeah, we will do some questions and answers, I suppose, at the end of the video. Hello, live extreme to legend himself. This is a pilot. I'm not sure where you're flying at right now, but just saw his comment here. Want to give you some money? Cheers, mate. Almost done with the flight training. Then I will be back trading chart champions all day. Yeah, he's doing flight training at the moment. Have some fun coupons. Hope that training is going well. We got the pilot in the house, we got the traders in the house, and we got the champions here with us tonight. 3,000 people watching us on the live stream. It's going to be good, no? Let's take a, whether you're watching tonight with a glass of wine, a beer, a cocktail, or like me, a pint of water, it's going to be a good one. Signature pint of water. Sip done. And let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, why am I placing such an emphasis on these trades? Well, depending on how long you've been a subscriber of Chart Champions, if you've been following us years, these results that we're producing are always at a high level. But obviously in recent times, we've been very much, I suppose, in the public eye. A lot of people watching what we're doing. A lot of people really interested in us for good or for bad, I suppose. But a lot of people very much interested in us, even though we've been doing this for years. People only got interested really recently. And, this is because of, people talking about us, etc. But I just want to highlight one thing, and I'm not going to spend loads of time talking about this, but I just want to emphasize one thing. You all know that my passion, my love is trading. I'm spending easily 16 hours a day on the computer trading, either trading, making content, or trading. It's as simple as that. Like, I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. Don't get me wrong. Like, I full on love what I do. I love trading. I love the charts. I love the analysis. I love like the psychological aspect of the market. Like, I'm just like fully, I just love what I do. What can I say? But and obviously recently there was gone through some troubles, I suppose, with people like attacking us. This was this is a comment that we had this morning. You can read what is said here. You can hire as much security as you want, but we've obviously been getting a lot of death threats. I've been receiving death threats, people really wanting to take down the community, a lot of hate, and this is obviously, in my opinion and opinion of a lot of other people, fueled by people are seeing the success. They're a bit jealous, and hey, obviously things are going pretty good. Pretty mental, I suppose. But what this is doing for me, it's because of all of this outside distractions, I suppose, all these people concentrating on us, it really has motivated me. It has motivated me to just not reply to it, to block it out, and as I will say, let my trades do the talking. So yes, there are lots of people talking about Chart Champions. There's a lot of hate coming towards Chart Champions, and all I'm doing is using all of this outside noise as motivation, as really a pushing me even further. It's making me want to work even harder, and it's making me want to succeed even more, because that truly, I'm using it as full on motivation. And what I'm going to talk you through today at the start of this video with these trades, man, starting off with the short entry, obviously that is the best short entry in the whole of the world. That short entry is the best in the whole world right now, short of the $62,000. Nobody in the world has a better entry than that. So what better way to start off with going through this? I have two posts that I want to show you here before we get into the action. This introduction, it's gonna be worth the while. But two posts I want to highlight here. Obviously, loads of haters. Hey, that's not what we're interested in. They don't really deserve our time. They want to come and attack me. They want to come kill me. Then, yeah, that's what I have to deal with. But anyway, moving on. These are the sort of posts that I want to bring attention to, that I love, and this is why we're here. This is why Chart Champions started. And these sort of comments, questions, people that were going from, I'm not going to read all this out, but all I suggest is you pause the screen and read this. You can pause and read this. We're seeing comments from people going from negative 400% to plus 200% portfolios. People really are studying what we're teaching and literally changing their lives. And that's why I want to put such an emphasis on tonight, of teaching you, helping you, and really giving back, because yeah, I really, 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 really do like it. You know, this comment was brilliant. You know, the guy had joined Chart Champions in January, had no work during to coronavirus, had no car, had just been written off, and he was down to trade on his phone and iPad. You know, he puts in the study, he puts in the time and the effort, and studies the materials, and then he's now able to, you know, he's now able to pick up a new car, pick up a new workstation. You know, really, really, really is helping himself. Another example of a guy that was, you know, struggling, turns it around, producing results. You know, here we just see, you know, lots of examples, people turning their deposits around, you know, just really, really, really nice results. And, you know, that's what we're here for. This is why we do what we do. Firstly, for me, I would be doing this if I had 1 subscriber or I had 100,000 subscribers. For me, the followers don't matter. It's not about the numbers. It's about the impact that we're having, I suppose. So that's what I want to emphasize to start on. We are all about positivity. All these other sort of things around us, I'm just using this for motivation. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to begin here. So I promised you, I'll talk you through these 5 trades to start off with, and then we'll go on to reviewing the action. And then we'll go on to the, you know, the big news of the levels you want to be aware of for when we see the Bitcoin break to the downside. So first of all, I want to talk you through these trades. I want to start off with here obviously the short from the all-time high. I've already done a video discussing this. So this short, we've already done a video discussing this. We have also covered this swing failure pattern here of number 2. So we're gonna primarily focus on. I'm gonna have to minimize this. I see loads of people, all the comments coming in. I am gonna have to minimize that screen a second because otherwise I'm just gonna get distracted by the comments. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk you through first. What was I saying? I want to talk you through this head and shoulders, and because this is a really big emphasis, and this is what I think really is gonna like blow your mind when I really explain this trade. This trade needs to be explained in detail. Okay, so if we come back over to the charts, and we remind ourselves what we had going on here. Ladies and gentlemen, take out your notepads, take out your pens and papers. You really, 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 really need to make some notes on this. Like if you are taking this seriously, I would recommend you take some notes. Okay, because it's powerful information I'm going to give you. So I want to play this clip. Okay, I'm going to just play this clip because this was obviously from a few days ago. This was from 3 days ago. I want to play this clip to remind you what we were looking at in the time, just to emphasize what I was foreseeing. And this was obviously from my video, about 3 days ago on YouTube, you know, public YouTube video. Let me just play this and we'll be back in 30 seconds. And that we're putting in here. And I suppose what's going to happen, you know, you can already kind of predict it. What probably a lot of people are going to be saying if we start to move up higher, they're going to be looking at this. I would have thought, oh, look at this. We might get a head and shoulders pattern. Hey, you can kind of predict these things before they even happen. But actually a bit of a range on it. And I really do think that if we do come up here and we get the rejection, I think everybody's going to be talking about head and shoulders. I can already foresee that. This is the thing. Thousands of different patterns, thousands of different potentials. I think you only want to focus on the highest probabilities. Who cares about all these random patterns? I can personally say I would not be, even if it forms, like I'm not going to be trading for the head and shoulders. I'll tell you that for nothing. But anyway, I'm sure some people will. The bottoming pattern. So that was obviously talking you through that head and shoulders while we were still at this point in the chart. Okay. And, you know, from here, we obviously put in the low of our right shoulder. Let me show you this. We obviously put in the low of our right shoulder. Oh, this is a little bit ugly. Let me just do this and we will just remove this from the side and then zoom in. Okay, so the thing that I want to emphasize here, the first thing that you want to write down, okay, is why do the patterns form on the chart? So why before it even started to form was I firstly predicting that the head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders was going to form, but then secondly, why is that head and shoulders going to form? Okay, if you remember, I was talking about the head and shoulders forming while we were here. It was not visible on the charts. We then made our low, which was right off of our support line, and then we put in our high, which is obviously the swing failure pattern. This support line, very, very, very important as always. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm going to explain. If you want to fill a big short position, what do you need? Okay, it's a question. If you want to fill a big short position, what do you need? Okay, trading is a zero-sum game. This means, well, essentially, this means there's always winners and there's always losers. Not everybody can win in trading. Not everybody can lose in trading. There's always going to be a winner and a loser. Why? Because let's say we're trading on Bybit. To trade on Bybit, there will be, every contract is worth $1. So if you are buying one contract, somebody else is selling one contract. So for every buy, there is a sell order. Okay, it's as simple as that. For every one buyer, there is one seller. Or better said, for every one contract bought, there is one contract sold. Of course, if let's say we're talking about $1 million. So there's 1 million contracts exchanged. This could mean that there are 1 million people buying one contract, and then there's one person selling 1 million contracts. So you then could have 999,000, and 999 people losing essentially if they are all buying the high, and the one guy that sold 1 million, he beat 99% of the people, and the price heads down. Let's just use that as a hypothetical example. So what is the answer to the question? If you want to fill a really big short position, what do you need? You need a lot of buyers. Okay? If you want to fill a really big short, you need a lot of buyers. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the first thing you want to write down. The second thing you want to write down now is, how do you generate lots of buyers? Well, it's exactly as I was predicting. To be honest with you, it was. There was no hindsight on this. There was no might do this, might do that. It was exactly as I predicted. While we were there, I was predicting that we're going to be looking for this head and shoulders. I became very confident in the idea when we came down to our support line and we started to get our bounces underway. Then I became even more confident in the idea when we started to form the symmetrical triangle here. So what is all of this coming towards? It's coming towards a symmetrical triangle, it's coming towards a inverse head and shoulders, and it's coming towards a breakout. As I was commentating, during that day, my eyes were absolutely lighting up because I knew we're getting the breakout buyers, we're getting the pattern buyers, period. That was enough. You had the breakout buyers and you had the pattern buyers. And what is happening here? If you wanted to fill a big short position, you have all the buyers that you'll need. You have all those buyers. Because let me tell you, it's not like I randomly was saying these things. Why was this head and shoulders pattern printed? Why was I predicting that would be printed? Well, really simply, for a fact, if people want to fill a large short, they need a lot of buyers. So these patterns that are formed, these head and that head and shoulders pattern that's formed, that is formed by a larger trader or a collection of traders. Every pattern that you're seeing on the chart is formed. Let me tell you this is not manipulation. So please don't start saying this is manipulation. It's not manipulation, okay? It's just really simply people trading the charts. Why isn't this classed as manipulation? Well, we had technical reasons to buy here. We had come down to our support line. We came down to CC support. There's technical reasons to bounce here. You came to obviously your Fibonacci extension. You have technical reasons to buy there. It just so happens to be that when you're forming these patterns, they're happening for a reason. They're happening for a reason. And you might be saying this then, Daniel, if this formed an inverse head and shoulders, this formed, the symmetrical triangle, why are they not breaking out and hitting targets? So generally speaking, if you form an inverse head and shoulders, what are people expecting? Well, people would be expecting their standard move like this, wouldn't they? Their move from the low to the high, and they're going to be looking for this, breakout and hitting, a higher target. So people are buying that. What else are people going to be looking for? They're going to be saying to themselves, okay, if we break above this high, I'm going to buy. And what happens? We break above the high. People that are buying the breakout, they might have their conditional order set. They're instantly underwater. But this is all coming together to form a lot of buyers, isn't it? We can all agree that this comes together to form a lot of buyers. So your larger traders are able to, first of all, print these patterns, already knowing they're only printing these patterns to fill sell orders at the highs. It's the only reason these patterns are being printed, because they have a larger picture. They have a larger time frame perspective of what's going to be going on here. Okay, so this is really, really, really important that you understand. To fill a large position, you need a lot of people on the opposite direction of your trade. So if 95% of the market are looking to do one thing, it's very unlikely they're going to be right. And generally, the 5% are going to be walking away with the money time and time and time and time and time again. The cycle repeats. The cycle repeats. Okay. So this is obviously the trade number one, where we had this short entry. So the way I traded this was a short off of this swing failure pattern of this high. So really simply, and if you go through my money shots in the in the channel, you'll know I had the exact entry above the level where I was able to fill my short above the high. Okay, brilliant, Daniel. Well done. What do we get from here? Well, the thing you want to remind yourself about this first trade that I really want you to learn and understand is when we get a swing failure pattern of the high, that equals a short. So for me anyway, again, I must stress there's obviously no financial advice. I just have to say this for legal reasons, obviously for a legal disclaimer, there's no financial advice. I'm not obviously a financial advisor. I'm just a trader. Like all I am is a trader. So that's obviously important to remember. But nevertheless, for me personally, I know the patterns that I want to trade. I have the statistics built of the patterns that I trade every single day. I'm trading the same patterns. I'm building the same statistics. I'm working out what's going right, what's going wrong. And if I see a change of something not working, I'm working to fix it all the time. I always feel that personally I can better myself. I'm not at the top of the game. Like I always want to be better. So hence why I'll always be trying to adjust, fix, and improve, essentially. But swing failure patterns are one of my most favorite patterns. On top of this, I knew that we had the breakout traders. I knew I had the pattern breakout traders. I knew we broke the high. It equaled a good short position. I think we can all agree that it was a very nice short position. Okay. But the first thing that I really wanted to highlight is why these patterns form. And it is really, honestly, kind of is to wreck a lot of people. Obviously, that sometimes they'll work out, but the majority of the times, look at the statistics in cryptocurrency of how often these patterns such as head and shoulders work inside of cryptocurrency, and you're looking at very, very, very low percentages. So it's really do what you want, I suppose. But for me, I would never, ever, ever trade these patterns. Okay, because I want to make money, not just talk about breakouts. But anyway, that's the first thing that I wanted to bring your attention. That was the short position. So I hope you've made some notes on that. The importance of recognizing why these patterns are forming. Think ahead. It's like I was telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it is 5D chess. So it's like this. I was predicting the head and shoulders pattern while price was here. We had not even formed this right shoulder. But I had already foreseen by forming this right shoulder what my opponents, and remember, trading is a zero-sum game. There's always winners and there's always losers. For me to win, other people have to lose. And by having the skill of recognizing that we were going to be forming the head and shoulders before it formed, I'm working out my opponent's move, which would be buying the breakout before they even know that they're going to be buying the breakout. You see how powerful that is? I'm literally able to predict what the rest of the market are going to be doing before they even know what they're going to be doing themselves. By able to predict the head and shoulders forming before it was formed on the chart, I knew what everybody else was going to be doing. So I'm able to foresee my opponent's moves before they even know the move themselves. And that is where you start to get into the chess game. It really is a game of chess. It really is a game of reading your opponents. It really is you have to have this competitive mindset of you want to win. You want to win. You want to be a champion. You don't want to be the loser that's following 95%. You want to work on yourself. You want to be the lone wolf essentially, or, just want to recognize what is the highest probability trade. Highest probability trade. There is no guarantees in trading. We aren't trading 100%, but we are able to get very high probabilities in terms of, via recording our statistics, what is likely to work and what isn't. And when that all come together to give us a very nice swing failure pattern, people buying those breakouts unfortunately lost a lot of money, and price made its way down. All well and good, yeah? So what happened down at these lows then? Well, this is the next thing that I want to talk you through, okay? And we're on step 3 of 5, so we're about halfway through. Okay? So the next trade that I want to talk you through is the low of this move before we obviously saw a rise in price, okay? So a few things that I want to bring to your attention here, okay? And that was obviously off of our original, from that original short position, we made our way down. And that was obviously all from the swing failure pattern of the high. Okay, so we swing failure pattern the high and we started to edge downwards here. Okay, we're making our way down overall to around $54,200 in the end. I just want to play you now a quick clip from my members members live stream on the 17th, so 2 days ago. So 2 days ago, I've done a live stream at 9:30 a.m. I just want to play this quick clip so you can start to get into my brain and understand what I'm thinking of when the price is occurring. Okay, and again, this is focused on education. Obviously, this was 2 days ago, but I still think there's absolute great value in understanding what I'm looking at. Okay, so let me just play you this clip a second. This is like your deviation. You could view this as your deviation, and essentially we've gone low, high, low, midpoint, low, up to the high. We could look for this low. That also is going to give you around your CCV target, 54,255. Just realized that the quality has gone to 360p. Let me just move this up. Yeah, that would be your lower target. I would definitely take profits here on the short again. But that's kind of my game plan right now. I'm not longing this. By the way, I'm not going to long this. I'm comfortable to sit in my short to the low of the range. Okay, so that was a clip from Sunday's live stream. You heard what I was talking you through there. You heard I was obviously still in my short position from the high of the swing failure pan. Okay, so I was obviously in my high from the short from the swing failure pan. Now again, I took that on 3 different accounts taking the same short of those swing failures, and we started to make our way down. Okay, you heard during that stream that we were looking for the CCV setup. So you can see here, as you heard, during that clip, my target, $54,255. That is our CCV target. Now, there's obviously, you have to be looking for confluences. We cannot trade off of one thing alone. So this is obviously a good reason. But what else did we have down at this level? We also had the low of our range. Okay, so we had the low of our range. And you also heard the next thing that I said during that clip was, I'm not going to be closing my short yet until we hit the low of the range. So this is then coming on to, great, we have a great entry, but it's then not closing a great entry too quick. How often have you been in the position where you get a really nice entry on a trade, but then you end up closing your trade way too early, only to see, small gains when you could have had gains much bigger should you have actually stuck to your plan? And this is obviously a reoccurring phenomenon, obviously, in trading. And why is this? So why do people close out their trade early? Well, it's simply because of a lack of confidence and fear that their winning trade turns to a losing trade. Why? Because they are likely still haunted by past experiences of seeing winning trades turn to losses. So they don't have confidence, period. Like, it is really a psychological issue, an emotional issue of not having that self-belief that this trade's going to work as they thought. They don't trust their technical analysis. They're second guessing themselves. People will close out a really great trade for a small profit because they would think to themselves, I'd prefer to take this small profit than a loss, only to see it head to target and then think, why did I close out so early? So a few things that I want you to take away from this. It's, once you're in a trade, if you don't have a reason to close out, don't close out early. Recognize where your targets are, and then recognize that it is based off of confluence. So when you have 3, 4, 5 different factors of support, it's support, okay? It's support. And then we move our way down. So we had our swing failure, we make our way down. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we hit that CCV target absolutely perfectly. On the absolute low of this wick was our CCV target being hit. We then see a brilliant reaction off of this, of course. Okay, if we move down to a lower term time frame, you will know it wasn't all peacefully, easily during this time. We were seeing a bit of back and forth, but we hit the CCV target here. I want to show you this update that I gave to my members, and that was exactly as soon as we were hitting that level, exactly as we were coming down to that low. Okay, what is happening here? So let me just zoom in on this picture. As soon as we hit that CCV target, which is also with obviously confluence of the bottom of your range, I was making the update saying here, and that is another perfect CCV target hit. My short from last night is now closed for great profits. Of course, the profits and numbers are nice, but what I want to emphasize here is I fully closed the trade. So I'm not keeping a percentage open. I'm not letting a little bit more run, but because of the fact my intraday setup had hit my target, I closed the short. I'm not letting any more run. I'm not getting greedy. I'm just really simply trading for my target. So I had the entry and I had the reason to exit. Of course, the thing that I didn't mention earlier is when we actually formed that swing failure pattern. As soon as we formed that swing failure pattern, we actually had a CCV setup, okay, which we brought us down to literally, funnily enough, the absolute low of the move, by the way, and that was never taken, as I mentioned here. Make as much notes right. Make as much notes as you can right now, because these literally are the best trades in the world. And I mean that. Like these trades that we're taking, that I'm talking you through right now, are not hindsight. These were called before it happened, and they are literally each one the exact high, the exact low, the exact high, the exact low. We're talking to the minute, and to the dollar. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. It kind of is. Okay, brilliant, Daniel. You closed out your short of the low. Well, what happened next? Well, what happened next is 1 hour. Well, what was it, about 1 hour later? Nearly 3 hours later, we formed a second low here. So I closed off my short from the swing failure pattern of the highs, giving us a CCV setup down to the low. Closed the short, and then, 3 hours later, I took a long off of this low. So I did not originally get into it here. I waited for the next retracement. What did we have on that retracement? Well, we had a few different factors. We obviously had the fact the CCV setup had completed. We had the bullish CVD. We had the 5,400 support, which is obviously the low of our channel once again. And when we had a bullish order book at the lows, and then the stop loss is 0.5%. E.g., I could and was able to take, for instance here, a times 100 long position with the entry of $54,477. Okay, this entry, tether pair, with that entry and the stop below the low, gives you enough space, if you want, to times 100 the trade using isolated margin, because your invalidation essentially is, it's not really recommended, but you can use the liquidation as a stop loss, because that invalidates the trade. Obviously, this was a calculated trade. I wasn't like going crazy. And this was actually on cross for me, so I wasn't actually times 100, but it was a cross trade. And obviously, we never take out that low. And that low, well, this is what happened, ladies and gentlemen. That was the low there, which brought us all the way to the upside. Brought us all the way up to these highs. Okay, brilliant. And there's also one thing that I want to emphasize on this. This was obviously happening while the DXY was dropping. So the inverse correlation between the DXY and the Bitcoin market. Okay. But what do I tell you, ladies and gentlemen? And that is, show me the charts and I will tell you the news. I did not know any news that, there's no insider trading. There's nothing like this. All we are saying is this was a really, really, really good long position. And then a few hours later, the pump started at about 6 p.m. The pump started about 6 p.m. We were obviously recognizing these signs. We're talking about it here at around 5. So 1 hour later, well, obviously my original post in the group was at 3 p.m. This was in the Champions group though. And then in the Champions group, 3 p.m. Well, we didn't get that pump until 6 p.m. So 3 hours in advance, I was recognizing that was a good long. Then it just so happened to be that at 6 p.m., 3 hours later, we get a pump. Show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. If you are buying off the news, guess what? You would have been buying up at the highs. If you're trading the charts and you recognize that it's a good long based off the probabilities, you're able to get into these absolute lows. It really is as simple as that. Really is as simple as that. Okay? As I say here, show me the charts and I will tell you the news. And the low of that CCV target was obviously never stopped out. And hey, we continued to print money all the way up to these highs in the end. This was a bit of a meme that we made on the 17th. Obviously, we mean this really lightheartedly. We're just having fun. We're just having jokes. But this was a meme that I made of retail wanting to buy $54,000. CCV setup going away. And obviously, I'm referring to really, really, really close to 54K. But we literally stopped right in the way of the $54,000 level to finish that CCV target again. We're just having a bit of fun. But that you have to admit, that's pretty funny now. Anyway, I hope that you see that it's funny. I certainly do. And then, okay, brilliant. I've taught you through, obviously, the originals, which that's short at the absolute all-time high within literally $0.5. The swing failure pattern, then the long from the CCV entry. We have 2 more setups to talk you through, and then we'll get on to the meat. The meat and potatoes of the show, which is obviously talking you through starting with the lower term timeframes, and then we want to talk you through the really big high term timeframe targets. Okay. So I know that you're probably already pretty well, I hope that you have a notepad full of notes made. Really important notes that you want to be making right now are why these patterns are forming, why those patterns are forming. Well, they are basically forming for your bigger traders to be into their positions. Next things that you want to be noting down are when you have a target, why would you not close at your target? Of course, you're going to be closing at your targets. Don't get greedy. Don't close early. Then once you actually hit your targets, look for trades in the opposite direction. If you're at resistance, you look for shorts. If you're at support, you look for longs, period. Okay. Make a note of that. If you're at support, only look for longs. If you're at resistance, only look for shorts. Stop looking for longs at resistance and shorts at support. If you're looking for a long at a resistance, you are in FOMO. If you are looking at a short at support, you are in panic. Remove the emotions and trade the charts. Next thing you want to remember is do not trade the news. If you trade the news, you're late to the move. Always. You're always late to the move if you're waiting for the news. Trade the news before it even forms. Okay. And that brings us obviously from that long that I took when we were coming up to these highs. Okay. And that moves us on to, let's close that down. Let's move it on a step. I want to play you another quick clip from a members live stream that was on the yesterday. So we're up to yesterday now at 10 a.m. So yesterday at 10 a.m. I made another members live stream. I want to just play you this clip. So again, you can get into my head, get into my thought process and understand what I'm looking at here. So let me play this clip and be back in a second. Then I'm going to be looking down towards our weekly. Obviously, I would prefer to look for longs here and I'd prefer to look for shorts here. And, what we say is we look for longs at support. But if we end up doing this and So what I'm talking about here is why we look for longs at support and shorts up at the highs. Okay. So I gave basically 2 boxes during that live stream. I gave a box where we look for longs and a box where we look for shorts. E.g., we are not going to be saying to ourselves, if we come up here, let's look for longs. And we're not going to say if we come down here, let's look for shorts. Really simply, why is this step important? We're making a plan. We are making a plan ready for the moves. So when price starts to come down, we are not worrying. When price starts to come up, we are not FOMOing, but we are ready and waiting for our levels. This was the weekly support and obviously a level of resistance, which I'm going to show you shortly what we had up here. But really simply, the takeaway of this is we are making a plan, pre-ready to control that emotion, because I'm telling you, the emotions in trading can wreck you. Like, the technical analysis is not that difficult. That can be learned, but the emotions, they can wreck you, because, you get that feeling in your stomach of, you get that sick feeling when price starts to drop, or a lot of people do. I like it. But, people start to feel sick when it's dropping, and then naturally they're going to let their emotions get the better. They're going to click that sell button when it's dropping, because they're thinking to themselves, I cannot take any more. I cannot take another dollar loss. They sell, price instantly reverses to the upside. Why? Because they sold at support. They had held their position underwater for so long, it reached support. They are then getting out of their positions. Bigger traders, bam. That's what they need. Push it up. Okay. So this is what I was obviously highlighting during that live stream. My area of support where I would long, my area of resistance where I would short. And it really is as simple as that. Well, what happened, ladies and gentlemen? Obviously, we made our way down. We did, in the end, hit our weekly support level. So, very important. We have hit weekly support. What does one do when they hit weekly support? Well, one would imagine that you are looking for longs. If you had that plan preset, you would not be worrying about this drop. You would actually be excited by the drop, because it's what you wanted. That drop. You wanted that drop to be able to take a long. You didn't want a long up here. Didn't want a long here. You didn't want to even long here. You wanted to wait for your weekly. Why? Because this is support. Period. it is support. Obviously, we all know what happens off of the bounce. I think I have another clip here. Actually, no, we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, really simply, if we move this along, we'll add back on our weeklies. We'll come back up to a bit of a higher term time frame. And I'll just show you what happens here. Okay, so if we remove that, we add on back onto our boxes. And we will see from the, obviously, prediction, which we had off of here, with our high term time frame levels, add on our high term time frame levels, we can see how we came to our green box of support onto the weekly, and we got a great bounce out of it. Really, really funny what happened on this one. We had our green box of support, the red box of resistance. What happened? We hit our green box of support. We came up to our big box of resistance, and we obviously fell down here. Okay. So I think I can explain this well enough. Everybody understand thus far? Nobody confused? Because I want to make sure people aren't confused. I really want you to understand this. Like, my objective of this is that you are fully understanding and actually becoming a better trader. Like, I want to be reading comments at the end of this video that are saying you have actually really benefited from, because, this video is going to be lasting, what, maybe an hour and a half. I really want you to feel that you have learned something, and this has been really valuable. Like, this is my target of this video, to really give you some great insights and value. Okay, so we come down to our weekly support, we get a bounce. Okay, brilliant. We had the bounce. We had obviously, really simply, coming down to those support. If you watch my live stream, by the way, the funny one that I done on Twitch, I was talking you through live in the time as we were hitting that weekly. Don't panic. Don't panic. We're at weekly support. This is obviously the place where you look for buys. There's no reason to panic. Obviously, it worked out very well in the end as we made our way to the highs. And this is what I want to show you here. Okay, I want to take this off, and I want to show you something here that's very, very, very important. The high that we put in here. The high that we put in here. I want to play you this clip. Okay, this is a very important clip. You need to pay attention. Let me play this. It's about 1 minute long. Yeah, I don't feel I'd want to just... Actually, I don't feel the CC is a very good short. There's just no other confluences. I think you'd want it to see... Really think for a short right now. I would really think the best short is a push up to 60,000. Just over $60,000 would be your best opportunity. So I really don't think... Yeah, well, I can tell you now, for a fact, I wouldn't short any of this region. I would want to see it come up to 60k, which is about another 5%. It's crazy, no? But I think about another 5%. Why? Because Oh man, there was no sound. Are you kidding me? There was no sound. Ah! There was no sound. I can't believe that I just done that. That's mental, man. Oh man, that's slightly annoying. Yeah, what I was saying there, what I was saying during that period where there was no sound was that, yeah, we had to remain patient for this move up to this level, really simply. If you had got reeled in early, you missed the move. So you have to remain patient for the move up into your target box. Okay. So we remain patient, we remain sensible. We had the boom, we had the move. Okay. We were able to time the high of that one. So then I've taught you through each of the trades now. Taught you through number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So I've taught you through each step of the way. And that really brings us up to, what's happening right now. So just for emphasis, because I'm not sure how long I've been muted there for. Not sure how long I've been muted for. This is the thing. I am not a YouTuber. I am a trader at the end of the day. I'm not good with all the YouTube technology. But anyway, it's not the end of the world. Basically, what I was emphasizing there, again, I'm not sure how long I was muted for. Madre mia, madre mia, madre mia. What I was going to say was we waited for that short position. Calling in advance, this was going to be the high. That was the absolute high of the move. And we obviously made our way to the downside. Okay, we made our way to the downside. And that obviously brings us up to where we are right now today. Again, that was my last update last night. After saying be patient for that move to the upside, we remained patient and we absolutely literally got the exact high of the move. Okay, that brings us up to where we are here. So I've talked you through now each step of the way, what's going on. Why was this low put in here, I suppose we'll start with. And, obviously we had this short from the highs here. Well, we have a primary reason here. If we just hide this, okay, what I'm going to do is put on my CC template. And we're going to take this from the low of this move up to the high. Okay, you can see here, down at around 1 a.m., we were putting a low on the CC. Okay, let me just make sure the sound is everything is a-okay right now. I can't believe I was muted. I have no idea how long I was on mute for there, by the way. For 4 minutes. For 4 minutes I was on mute. Man, that's like... I can't believe that. Well, actually, I can believe that. It's not even the first time that's happened. So that's crazy. I just wonder when I start to get a phone call. Anyway, yeah, we had our move down to the CC and we get this reaction off of this. Okay, so we come down to our CC support, which is your Fibonacci from the low of the move to the high of the move. You come down to your CC. We just draw this one more time. Fibs from the low up to the high. We come to the CC. We get a great bounce underway. Great bounce underway. So now let's start to zoom in here and see what's happening. Okay, so what's happening now? Again, I want to do a bit of a lower term time frame perspective. I need to do a lower term time frame perspective, and then we'll move on to the high term time frame. Let me just read some of these comments. I can't believe that I was muted for that long. Negative energy screams jealousy. Do you think? Yeah, man. I love you, Philippe. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Nope, I have no idea of any traders that do LSD or any other drugs while doing their work. If I'm honest, I can't say I do know anybody that does that. We can talk about this towards the end. And then a lot of people say muted. Oh, man. Yeah, I had to do some sign language there. How mental is that I was muted for so long, man? I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe that I done that. That's so mad. That is so mad. Oh man. I hope that you enjoyed me talking you through that anyway. I hope you enjoyed me talking you through that. Even though I was muted for some of it. I was muted during this section. So I must have muted myself after I taught you through this. I'll play you this clip, by the way, because this was one last clip that I want to play, and then I'm done with the muting of the mic. What was I going to say? Yeah, I was going to say the volume is really nice. The open interest is really nice. The delta is really good. The amount of time taken for each candle is like super nice. It's just like one of those things where the only thing that you use for analysis of the volume is to decipher, is that a good short or is it a good long? You don't need to read into anything else. You just need to know the simple answer of, is that a good short and is that a good long? Like, you don't need any other information. Anything else is just too much. And the only thing that I can take from it is really simply saying, this is not a good short. Okay, that's the only thing that I can take from that information. And again, the reasons are looking at the open interest, looking at the volume, looking at the speed of the candles, okay, and the time taken of the candles. This is very bullish volume. You know, so the way that I would approach this is two opportunities, I would say, for the short. And the reason why I'm talking about short positions is because I only look to short when price is moving up. So, you know, I don't really have, this is the only choice I have. So for me, there would be two options for a short then. The option number one, and obviously my preferred option, is a move to the upside around $60,000. That's where the next level that I would be, you know, don't think that it's going to hit during this stream, but we can have an alert set should it push up here. Remember to unmute. That was basically a continuation of you know, this, where I was basically explaining, you know, I want to remain patient. I was talking you through the things that I'm looking at here. I thought, well, a lot of people don't even understand, you know. So what I was saying, explaining, is it's not a good time to short here. And we were literally here. Okay, we were literally here during that live stream, which is Contenders live stream. Okay, that was a Contenders live stream. I was saying this is not a good time to short. We want to move. We want to wait for the move up. Where did we want to wait for that move up to that 60k high? How absolutely perfect was that? Like, that was next level. That really was next level analysis. We were analyzing the volume, the open interest, the speed of the candles. This is not something people even know is a thing that exists. We were looking at the speed of the candles, how quick they are coming in, because what we're not even looking at volume. We're not even looking at time. Each candle here is represented by volume. So you look at the speed of the candles, you look at how big the candles are, the highs and the lows of the candles. This is complex. I'm not going to lie, it's complex analysis. And it's not for everybody, but you can see the advantage it gives you. It, as I was saying, it gives me two options. Is this a good short or is it not? I knew that that was not a good short. I knew where I wanted a short. That was right there, right at the highs. What was I saying? Be patient. Hey, we remain patient, and we got, once again, the best, not only here, where we had the absolute best entry in the whole of the world. In the whole of the world, there is not one person with a better entry than myself with a short position on Bitcoin. We not only done it once, but we done it twice. We done it twice with the second best entry in the world of a short. All-time high, the absolute high of that move. Thinking back, we also had the absolute high of this move. We had almost the absolute low of this move. We had the low of this move. So you can see here, there's one important pivot, shorted it. A second important pivot low, which I did not long, by the way. A third pivot high, which I shorted. So 2 out of 3 thus far. The low here, didn't get the exact low, but I did close all my short this low. Did long the second retracement. Did manage to long the next move up here. Did manage to short the next rise here. All pretty good, no? Pretty impressive. And then where we put in our low last night. We put that in, obviously, on our CC. That brings us up to where we are now. I've finished my low-term time frame analysis, and yeah, that CC is obviously, yeah, that CC there. So what do we have going on here on the low-term time frame? Let me just double check everything is good in the terms of the volume. Yes, everything is good. Everything is good. Daniel. Thank you so much. Even though you were muted, you did better than explaining than any other YouTuber out there. I don't want anyone to comedy sort of, you know, you don't even want to compare me to other people. I feel like right now I'm in a level of my own. Like, I feel I am totally in a level. I know this is, I just must admit, I have full high confidence right now. My confidence is extremely, extremely, extremely high. And as I've said before, that doesn't mean I'm increasing my position sizes. Doesn't mean I'm getting overconfident in terms of changing my trades. But I do have full confidence that when I'm recognizing these levels, when I'm calling these trades, I have absolute full confidence that they will play out. And yeah, what can I say? I'm feeling really, 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 really good right now. And like I'm saying, my trades are talking. You know, you don't really need me to say this. Like, all you need to do is look at my trades, and that really does do a hell of a lot of talking. Now, you don't really need me to say these things. You don't need anybody to back me up. All you can do is look at the champions' results, look at their trades, look at my trades, and hey, who else is producing those kind of results consistently, like we have every single high and every single low of this move? Pretty crazy. Anyway, someone says play the song. I will play the song. Let me find this. I'll do a quick song here. A quick song. Not me singing, by the way, but a really, really funny song. I hope the guy doesn't mind me sharing this. If he does, maybe we'll have to edit this out of the video. I hope not, but if it does, we have to. Let me find this song a second. It was hilarious, and it is worth a quick break. Let me find this. Found it. Yeah, this is hilarious. Yeah, I think this is gonna like remove the video or get copyright strikes, but hey, it's worth it. This is absolutely hilarious. You want to see one of the best raps? So this is a Chat Champions member. I will have to find his details and share it for you all in the next video I do, because I think this is brilliant. But if you want to have a smile, listen to this. It would help if I unmuted Discord, no? Listen to this.
Shout out to Mark Douglas, the market wizard. I never really had a nice pot to piss in. If Daniel says study hard, heart will listen. So if it says something, then my heart will listen. So now when I wake up, get my cake up, late night, I've been looking for those late bucks. I can see it in your eyes, the money never lies, and I ain't even in fake love. Look at the VWAP 786 adjacent. Fibonacci, I would get it on the retracement. Never thought that I would make money in my basement, but living my life too long complacement. Lose a little money, then I get it right back. Listen to the chart, I will never fight back like that. Now listen. Okay, so Mark Douglas is the market wizard, and Daniel, he's like the techno king. Igor, he's the best of things. I got no fear, I'ma test my wings. I'm the boy, I've been looking for the VWAP. Last year I was busting on my kneecaps. This year I've been looking where my sleep at, where my vet's at, looking for the free stats. This day I've been looking for that 80k, but I'm that dude, yeah, I hate to wait. I guess patience is key to success. I study consistently, I'm feeling blessed, but honestly I got something on my chest. Yeah, honestly I got something to confess. I thought it was a singles group, man. Where the singles at, Dad? Where the singles at?
That is so brilliant. That is so brilliant. For the people that don't understand, this is like a bit of a Chart Champions trading song. You had the Fibonacci in there, you had the VWAP in there, you had the Igor in there. That is so brilliant. And I think if you're part of the community, you fully appreciate that brilliance. It was absolutely brilliant. If anyone knows the details of this guy, I'll be happily will shout him out on his platforms, because that was so funny, and it really did bring a smile to our faces yesterday. It certainly did for me anyway. I thought that was absolutely brilliant, and I know a lot of people did respect it. That was fully really, really, really cool. Yeah, literally like 8 Mile, man. Yeah, that was epic. So I'm happy to shout that guy. Make sure I'm really conscious now of that volume, but hey, that was a bit of fun, and that brings us up to where we are here then. So let's analyze this together, yeah? Let's analyze this together. So we can see we have our current resistance. We can see we're up at around our daily point of control with the weekly open here. You can see that really is coming in at $59,000. Okay, let me mute Discord, otherwise it's never ending, the notifications on there. $59,000, obviously, we can see here coming in at as a current resistance. We zoom out slightly. Okay, this is obviously daily point of control is always moving, so it's always moving. It's never going to be an exact level. Your weekly open is obviously an exact level there. So let's see if we zoom in here a little bit. Okay, I like to look for my divergence. Well, okay, we go on to the 5-minute time frame. We've just started Igor time. So hopefully we'll get a move right on cue. Let's give this 2 minutes and see what happens. We'll give this 2 minutes and we'll see if we get a move then. Be funny if we do, but yeah, you can start to see here. So things that I'll be looking at straight away. We obviously can see that we have our current resistance around $59,000. Okay, 59. Oh, there is actually one thing that I wanted to. Ah, there you go. I just saw in the corner of my eye. There he is. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you showing that stream. Made my year for real, man. You're a legend. Honestly, give me all your deets, because I will show you on this live stream. I loved the music, man. It was so cool. Like literally, it made my day. So yeah, man, it was epic. Anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, so what we have today is we have another CCV setup. Okay, so we do have another CCV setup today. And this is the thing. When you are looking for your, which is today is it's a long setup. And when you're looking for your entries, there is one key thing in trading that I think is very, very, very important. Okay, so when we bring this back over to our normal looking chart, which I think more people will recognize, a thing that's really important, okay, is let's say, for example, you longed the back test of this weekly, and let's say your target is $59,600, let's just say. Okay, so if you have a target, that you've longed 57,600 and you have a target of 59,600. Okay, so let's just emphasize, for the educational reasons here, let's just say we were longing the back test of the weekly. We've got a target here, and we've got a stop loss, let's say, back below the weekly. Okay. So if we are longing this, do you think that it's sensible to long here and hold that position all the way up to the target? Okay. Or do you think it's sensible to long here, hold your position all the way up to the target, but take a take profit one on the way there? What we are saying here, take profit one means if we have entered a long and we have a target, we want to hold to the target. But what we also want to be able to do is protect ourselves. Should we do this, miss the target slightly, and then fall all the way down and hit our stop loss? We don't want to be in the position of losing. So take profit one basically is a thing that I will do all the time to protect myself. We have a long setup today. So long setup for a CCV where we have the target. Okay, we have our target here actually. For the CCV, you can see I have an alert right on it right now. So this is our CCV setup target, obviously for a long. But the thing that I want to emphasize here is if we're longs here for our CCV setup, and here is our target, we don't want to just hold and have, be right now thinking I've not taken any profits yet. You do want to take profit one, and then you really want to move that stop loss to entry. There's no need to be in any more risk. What that means is if you then, for instance, here just fall straight down, you are guaranteed money whatever happens. You're in the position where if we move up to complete the target, absolutely brilliant. If we don't and we happen to fall down, hey, not the best, I suppose, but you still made money. And that's the important thing. You still made money. Okay. And you might think, where would be a good take profit target then? So where would be a good take profit on this? Well, I'll show you what we were looking at just then. Your weekly open can be considered a nice take profit target. Okay. And I will show you this. This one could be, yeah, why not? Because this is one that I did want to show you. I did get that entry. I mean, my entry was really, really, really good, but that was obviously from the CC. But nevertheless, what I'm saying here to my team, because Victor, Victor, a coach at Chart Champions, he also done a live stream this morning. Where he was talking about the CCV setup, So he done a live stream this morning. And what I wanted to emphasize to people was, remember what Victor said in today's update. When trading for the CCV setup, a take profit is needed. I said, good, take profit now on the long set. We obviously come to our weekly open. As you can see, this post was at 12.33. I'm just going to do this one to blow your mind. 12.33, we're talking about, it's a really good take profit one. Okay, you want to see what happened here? 12.33 to post. 12.33 to post. This is where I said about the post of good time to take profits. Literally at 12.35, we start to see a really big sell-off. Okay. So this really is highlighting the importance of taking profits, because if you didn't, you saw this massive move to the downside and you were stuck in your trade. That was a 2% move to the downside intraday. Brilliant. And the thing is, if you sell or take profit one here, guess what you can do? You can buy back your position. So even if you're bullish for higher, if you sell here and rebuy back here, you've made even more money. And you might think there's no way that you can buy back here. Well, let's add on our support line. What can I say, ladies and gentlemen? What can I say? We come back into our support line, which was the absolute dollar low. Well, I say absolute dollar low. Apologies. It was within 0.04%. We came back into our support line and we got a really, really nice bounce underway. Okay. Obviously came back here. Well, we come back into our CC and we got another bounce underway. And now we really are consolidating, tightening up here. Yeah, so that really just describes what we're looking at on the lower term time frame. Personally, I am still in this and I am still looking for this CCV setup. Okay, this is what I'm still looking for here. This is obviously a CCV setup, so I'm still looking for this on the lower term time frame. So again, this is just an intraday trade. It literally is just an intraday trade. And look at this in terms of your support. Hit it to the absolute dollar here, really nice bounce. Hit it to the absolute dollar here, really nice bounce. We come down here, which is obviously to the CC, and we get another bounce. I suppose what we could say here on the local term time frame, it's not really perfect. I was going to say it kind of looks like no, we don't really have anything here. I mean, on the lower term time frames, what I can see here, so you are forming bearish divergences. But this is the thing, and this is why I think you have to have patience. So I would say to myself, okay, yeah, we do have a bit of bearish divergences here. We do have the previous day point of control. We do have, the weekly open right in here. But I have to say to myself, would I short this? Okay, would I short off of what I have here? I mean, I must admit, I don't really like that there's bearish divergences forming, but it's really local. I mean, personally, no. So my answer would be I would not short here. Why? I still think we can push up higher. Simple as that. Also, if we're starting to think about take the best trades. So if you want to take the best trades and you want to have the highest probabilities, remember, ladies and gentlemen, price can always do one of three things. Price can go up, down, or sideways. So if price can do anything right now, price can literally do anything. Would we want to take a gamble? Would we want to take a low probability trade? Let's just say even a 50-50. Would we want to trade a 50-50? The answer should be no. You do not want to trade a 50-50. You want to wait for the high probability trades. For example, when you're coming down to your support, which is also in confluence to weekly. What can we say the probabilities of bouncing here are? You're talking about 90% probability of bouncing off of this to the upside. So you can see how this is a very, very good long. Why? Because you have a 90% probability of bouncing here. Can we say the same thing here? Would we long here? The answer should be no, because I don't know what to say. That should be obvious. Like you want a long where you have really high probabilities. Do you have a high probability long here? Absolutely not. Obviously, I am still looking for higher. But it doesn't mean I would just long into resistance here. I'm going to have to let the trade play out. So yeah, that's also one thing I want to stress. Why wouldn't I short here? I don't have a high probability short right now, do I? I want to see higher. Okay. I always want to short when price is moving higher. That's always my best time to short when price is going up. Right now we're in consolidation sideways. Personally, I'm looking for this to push up, complete the CCV setup, and then hey, we'll go from there. But this is obviously an intraday trade. We have a little bit of bearish divergences locally, but it's not enough for me to think about switching my positions. I'm going to happily stand along. I'm going to happily look for this CCV setup to complete. Okay. Can I think of anything else here? Oh, look at this. We're not getting a very nice push. If we complete this, how brilliant would this be? So yeah, this is what I wanted to cover on the local term time frame. Okay. This is what I wanted to talk about. Okay. On the local term time frame, we currently have a really nice CCV setup. I've shown you the areas of support that we've had today, and I've showed you why personally I wouldn't short where we are here. Why I'm expecting higher. If this happens on Q, hey, I'm looking for higher. We got the CCV set up. Don't feel there's a high probability short right now. We really, well, I guess need is the wrong word, but we would like to see higher here on the charts. Okay, again, take profit one has been hit on the trade, as you saw, literally 2 minutes before a really big drop to the downside. I was telling my team to take profit one. We took I did anyway. I took take profit one. I cannot speak for everybody, of course. Took take profit one literally up at the high here. We saw a 2% move to the downside, hit our support, and we got our secondary bounce. So now we're just, this is the thing. Like, now you have to be patient. So just as the other day when I was saying, you got to be patient here for the move down to long or the move up to short. I was patient to wait for this or this. Obviously, I need to emphasize it again because, hey, this is what patience gives you. Wait for the long, wait for the short. Wait for the long, wait for the short. We all know this dropped down heavily all the way down here. But how did this happen? We waited for the high probability long and the high probability short. So what we're going to do here, well, I am anyway. I've already taken what I feel is my high probability long, and now I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for my high probability target, which is our CCV setup. So, this is now this is a patience game. Why would I get involved when I don't have the high probabilities? Well, really simply, the answer is I shouldn't. Should I? I should not get involved because I should wait, because I know from statistics, I know from trading this setup, I know because literally every single time we're seeing this, it's working right now. And I mean, would you doubt me? Would you doubt me? I hope not. But this is obviously the CCV that we had from this morning. You can see here, we got our target up here. I'm going to be looking for a slight front run, but yeah, we obviously had this play out in the morning, and here we are coming up. Right on cue, hey? Right on cue. Are you surprised? Right on cue. There we go. We took the highs. Right on cue. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you're in Chart Champions. That is why you are watching these videos right on cue. And I told everyone it's going to be happening on cue. That's why you wanted to not miss the video. We have taken the highs. Also, all I'm saying is we have just taken the highs. So, yeah, that is really really important thing to know. Okay. Look at that. 89 million volume candle. 89 million volume candle coming in just as we were talking about. We're going to be pushing up for the CCV setup. What can we say? Hey, I need to manage this now. Exactly as predicted. But we were talking about this morning. Okay. Oh, yeah. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. What can I say? And that is complete. You like that? Do you like that? And you want to also see my post in the group? You want to see this post? About 1 hour into the live stream, we will hit the CCV target. About 1 hour into the live stream, we will hit the CCV target. Did you see what we done? 1 hour. What are we? Are we at the 1 hour part now? 1 hour 10 minutes. 1 hour 10 minutes into the stream, and I was saying this. Okay, you want to see this? Hitting the CCV target during the live stream will be cool, right? So I've done 2 posts about it. I said we're gonna hit the CCV target about 1 hour into the live stream. Number 2, obviously just posting here, hitting the CCV target during the live stream. That would be cool, right? With the little gift. Hey, if we hit CCV target and try to take, I would dress up as Batman. What can I say, ladies and gentlemen? My trades do all the talking necessary. That's all I'm going to say. My trades do all the talking necessary. I said it will happen 1 hour into the live stream. Hey, 1 hour 30 minutes, not bad, no. Said we're gonna hit the CCV target during this video. Hey, just because I got onto talking about it. I don't know. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think? My trades do all the speaking that I need. I don't need to say anymore. I've shorted the absolute all-time high to the absolute dollar in the whole of the world. That is the best entry you're ever going to see on Bitcoin, because nobody in the whole world has a better short entry than that. That entry is the absolute all-time high of the move. Okay, literally the all-time high. We took the short here of the absolute high. We took the long here of almost the low. We took the short here of the absolute low, took a short here of the absolute high. I took a long here at the absolute low, by the way, which was the CCV. Okay, as you can see, the entry, 56,500, right on the low. And hey, we just hit the CCV during the live stream, 1 hour into the live stream, exactly as predicted. Any more words needed? or can we admit now that anybody that really doubts us is losing? I don't know. Yeah, that you can decide that. You can decide that. I'll let you be the judge of that. But anyway, we'll look at the volume as it's coming in here. So obviously we just saw 77 million coming in here, 77 mil coming in. Seen a bit of defense coming on. Still seen the order book. We'll monitor this together. But if you like that, you can give a thumbs up. If you like that, smash the likes. Yeah, so if we come down, well, we're on the 5-minute time frame here, this is enough. You can see, look at all these longs open, yeah? You literally just saw 77 million longs here in this candle. We've now started our next candle. We are currently seeing about 45 million volume in this candle. So our prior candle had 143 million. We then hit our next candle, which has got 46 million. Okay, so this is really great volume currently. We're currently seeing 59,500. Obviously, this could be classed as a bit of a psychological level, being your round number. Obviously, you're going to see, well, the bears here obviously have put in no defense of trying to defend a high. Okay, so that high has been no swing failure pattern, essentially. Wouldn't class that as a swing failure pattern. We are now looking at 59,500, a bit of resistance. Okay, you are obviously seeing high volume come into this. So let me open another template. Let me open this one. And we're going to go for this push. Okay, let's see if we're going to get it. Volume still looks really good. Volume still looking good. And we are still pushing up. I have got a trade open, so I do want to manage this as well. But it's looking good. Obviously, the volume is looking really nice. Lots of longs opening here. And we are very close to our high upper target. We're reaching it slowly. 59,540 right now. Defense being put up. Let me open my... I need to open my app. I like trading it from the phone right now. Ooh, order book looks really good. This is lagging. I'm looking at the tether pair. Okay, so you gain a bit of a sell wall at 59,539. You currently got a 6 million sell wall on it. You literally got 6 million sell wall. Yeah. So you got a bit of a sell wall coming in there, about 6 million, literally. So you got, you had a 6 million sell wall at this high. So someone's obviously trying to defend that. I'm looking at this on my phone, but I can just, I'll commentate this for you. So you basically, you saw a 6 million sell wall come in there. And you see about 30 mil at market trying to short it down. Naturally, I would say that this, you know, well, you can also see it on the screen here. So you're seeing about 17 million at market currently, or you know, that's negative delta, 21 million candles. So you saw basically what you've seen there. You saw a big, well, relatively big, you know, for a limit order, you saw a 6 million sell wall come in, and then as soon as that sell wall come up, you see 18 million. Somebody click market. They didn't want to wait. They didn't want to wait. They wanted to get out their position. It was all just closing though, so it's not the end of the world. But basically, essentially what this means is you saw price push up, you saw the sell wall activate, and then as soon as the sell wall activated, someone has closed 20 million long. They have just closed their long. They are not opening a short. They are just taking profits on their longs. Okay, that's all this means. It just means somebody has decided to take profits on their longs. About 20 million worth negative delta. So we can estimate, you know, educated guess that it is about 20 million worth of longs closing. Again, this is not shorts opening. This is not shorts opening, but it is longs taking profits. Okay, about 20 mil there. You know, we can monitor this as it comes back on. Obviously, you have your important support coming in there back at around 59,200. And yeah, the current sell wall resistance, which was literally up at those highs. Okay. So I do think you really want to see 15. Well, I mean, I'm impartial. I'm pretty impartial, but I think 59,200 is important support right now for the bulls. Okay, pretty important support for the bulls. You saw that 77 million come in there. Taking the highs was the most important thing that you wanted to do. You have taken the highs, so now really bulls, I would say, want to hold 59,200-ish. You know, I think that's pretty important that you want to hold that. If they don't, it's obviously not going to look as good for the bulls. I would have just simply put it like that. 32 million now closing. So you're seeing a lot of, yeah, this is all closing. So this is all longs taking profits. Okay, this is all profit taking. So basically, I want to emphasize this is profit taking. This is people that have longs lower taking profits, and they don't want to wait. They just are pressing market. They are pressing market sell. Basically just means they want to take profits straight away. Okay, we can tell that because the open interest is declining. Okay, so you saw your open interest go from 2.81 billion to 2.79 billion. Okay, so that just means that this is definitely longs closing. You can see here we just put a long lower wick of defense. We did just manage to retest 59,200. That was our important support level. We did hold the important support currently. So we have had now the back test. So now we're again, so now this would be, I would just say, a bit of a waiting game. We can just be a bit patient here. Obviously, you might think this is like really exciting or whatever, but you know, you don't want to trade off of excitement. You don't want to trade off of emotions. You do want to stick to what you feel is the best and highest probability trades. And you know, as it's all profit taking, I'm not really that worried, if I'm totally honest with you. You know, this is where the open interest really does give you a bit of a heads up. Obviously, you can track open interest on Bybit. You know, you can track it for free. You can use Bybit literally. They give you the open interest on the application. So you just need to download the app. And yeah, you can obviously look at that for free. Wow, this 6 million sell wall again. 6 million sell wall coming up right now again. 59,318. This somebody keeps putting a sell wall up of 6 mil. And it drops again. Yeah, somebody keeps flashing this 6 million sell wall. It's really random. We'll monitor this. We'll keep our eyes on it. But I think the main thing that you wanted to be aware of is that we have taken the highs. So that's obviously a really important. Yeah, for me, I just think it's very important when you take highs. Okay, and we obviously have taken that high. So that for me is this is the important level. So give or take another 10 minutes, and we should start to get a little bit more clarity. Okay. Currently, obviously, a lot, and I mean a lot of profit taking. Okay, a lot of profit taking. 78 million candle already, 4.8 million. And this is all people closing their longs. Okay, this is all people that are just closing their longs. You know, they want to take profits. I mean, I can't blame them, but a lot of people are taking profits on this. Okay, and yeah, we have our secondary support, which we could see here. You can see on our volume profile on the right, our secondary support, should we lose 59,200, this is coming in at around 58,870. And obviously the lowest support that we have is $58,291. Okay, so it does look like we're going to break down from our 59,200. This is still profit taking though. This is still profit taking. You can see this on the decline in open interest. But yeah, we are now below 59,200. We have essentially taken the highs. Wasn't really, I wouldn't really class it as a swing failure pattern, but we took the highs, spent some time above it, getting a bit of a flush. All profit taking, all profit taking. People heavily closing their longs. Back down below previous day point of control, but now you're back into your, so this is your first support. Okay, so this I would say is your first, well, you had 59,200, you had a mini bounce, didn't hold up, and again you just have to play the probabilities. This is your next support, which we'll put as green, and if this fails, that's obviously going to not look amazing for the bulls, but your next level of support would be this right here, $58,298. If we don't hold this point of control of the range. Okay. So I think, so ladies and gentlemen, what I want to emphasize here is you always want to take the highest, you know, your highest probabilities. How do you get the high probabilities? You look for confluences. So once you've found your confluences, you need to execute. Yeah. Why is Trader R now offending me? Am I on mute again? I got a phone call now from Trader R. I don't know what's going on. Why people keep phoning me? Unless this is lagging, I don't know. I'm not sure why I'm getting loads of calls on Discord. Hello. I'm pretty sure I'm not on mute. I don't know. Just really random. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to continue. What I was saying, what I was saying is you want to wait for your high, you want to wait for the confluences. How do you get a high probability trade? You wait for the confluences. Okay. Here we do actually have a pretty nice, we have the point of control of the local range, and we are coming into our CC. Okay. Again, this was all longs closing. This is 100% all longs closing. Heavily, yeah. 34 million, 32 million. A lot of longs closing. Okay, a lot of longs closing. And if we lose this, I do think that we're going to come down to around $58,300. Okay, is what I would envision. Okay. Okay. So there's only two things that you have to bear in mind. All the time, there's two things that you're going to be bearing in mind. You're going to be bearing in mind who's pushing this, and this is literally longs taking profits. This is all that's pushing this is longs taking profits. Didn't I click that? So this is not necessarily considered bearish when it's just profit taking. Although obviously you're pushing down, it's not considered like highly bearish. And you're going to be looking down then, I would say, to your next support, which is 58,302. You can simply see you lost 59,200. You lost this point of control. You lost this CC. And then your next layer of support is this, I would say. Okay, that's what I would be looking for. Let me just see here. So I would say, yeah, you have that sort of trend line resistance here. We obviously still had this trend line support from a while ago. So, I mean, you didn't quite hit the high. Didn't quite hit the high of that trend line. But these are your two major trend lines at the moment. You obviously have the major trend line resistance, which comes in at about 59,696. You have the major trend line support, which would, again, this would totally invalidate anything locally. So this is a bit of a higher term time frame, but on a bit of a higher term time frame, you have the low of that trend line coming in at around, depending on the time, 56,550. I'm trying to see if we have anything here on the higher term time frame for you. Nope, not really. So if we just clear this up. And we see here, this is the thing. So this is the thing where you want to think to yourself, is this, always think to yourself, is this a good long? Is this a good short? And when the open interest, so this is why open interest is really, really, really important, because the open interest here is just going down. So even on this longs opening, this is now shorts closing. So this is where it's really choppy. I would class this as really choppy. Why is this choppy? Because this is just longs closing, and now this is just shorts closing. So there's no real directional push by either side. Bears are not pushing this down because it's just longs taking profit, and bulls are not pushing this up because it's just shorts taking profit. So this is where you get chop, because no side is really trying to push in either direction. People are just taking, pulling out at the moment. They are closing their positions. And I mean, I don't think you can blame people for closing out their positions. Why? Because, well, really simply, because you took the high. This is where a lot of people are going to be front running targets, because that's where you can fill your biggest positions, obviously, up at the highs. So if you want a front run, this is what is known as a front run. And then on the way back down here, well, I mean, this is a bit this is a bit crazy, but you don't normally see this. But then you see literally instantly 109 million volume candle, and it's all closing. I mean, you can literally see this. We went from 2.81 billion open interest to 2.74 billion open interest in a matter of 10 minutes. And this is really simply all positions closing, all longs closing, all shorts closing. The open interest is literally fell off. That for me anyways is just important. If you had seen bears pushing this down with shorts opening, I would say, yeah, that's a bit more bearish. But I really wouldn't say that this is a bearish move to the downside. This is a profit taking move. I need to take a drink 1 second. I wouldn't say that's a bearish move down, to be honest with you. And I also wouldn't say that this is a bullish move up, because, well, I think I've said it. This is profit taking, and this is also profit taking. So there's no real directional push. There is literally no directional push. So, I mean, the way that I would approach this at the moment is, personally, I mean, do you have a long right now? I mean, I would say personally no. I personally say no. But do you have a short right now? I would also say no. Why wouldn't I want a short here? Well, personally, I wouldn't want a short here because all we've seen is a profit taking from hitting a high target. Okay, so maybe if we start to see, and this could take, I don't know, this could take like half an hour. But if you start to really break down, again, we haven't actually hit the support, but this is a massive support level. If you lose that, which is the lowest of our three supports, if you lose that, yeah, then we could start to look at a little bit more bearish. But I think while you're still above your major support, which each time hit, bounce, okay, we still can get our first touch of it. I personally wouldn't be eager to jump into a short where we are here. And that's just based off of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing profit taking. doesn't give me a massive reason to jump into a short because of some profit taking. Yeah, and we're also still above our support. If we lose that, well, yeah, then if we lose that, then I would imagine that we come all the way back down to our weekly, to be honest with you. Or if we consolidate here a little bit longer and we start to see absorption of the bulls, you know, via shorts with their limit orders, well, then that also does present a short. But I do think, in my honest opinion, if you're in no position, I personally would take a bit of patience. I don't really see the need to jump into a position here where we are. I mean, you've just seen in terms of percentage, 1.7% move to the downside on profit taking. That for me is not really bearish. So personally, for that reason, I would not short where we are here. So e.g., I would have patience for the short. I really would. We'll see if this works out because we're probably going to be speaking still. But I personally wouldn't short where we are here. But at the same time, I also wouldn't long. So this is the thing. I personally would not take any trade where we are here. Why wouldn't I long? Well, for me, I wouldn't want to long while we're up at around... This is the thing. I would want to always short up at the highs. I'd want to long down at the lows. And we can see here, if we're looking at this as a high, for example, and this as our lows, you know, we are literally right in the middle here. Okay. So even here locally, we have lows and we have highs. We are literally right in the middle. So let's just say, for example, if we just hide this. Okay. So if we just take all this off, if you were to long right now, you would have to look like this. Long here, let's say you put a target. I don't know. Let's just say you put a target here at the trend line. And let's say, where's your stop loss? Well, I guess you're going to have to move that back down below. This is a bit too of a tight stop. So let's say you have to put your stop loss here. This is an example. I'm not taking this trade. But you can see here, you have a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. Why is this risk to reward ratio so bad? Because you're literally trading the middle of the range. Okay. Now let's go over the short. If you want to short, what would you do? You'd have to short here. Your stop loss is going to be after here. And where's your target? Well, I think your target is this. So you have a 0.46 risk to reward ratio, pushing it a 0.87 risk to reward ratio. So we can acknowledge the long here is not great. And also the short here is not great. So we can say this is not a high probability trade. Is it? This is not a high probability trade. You want to have the patience to wait for your high probability trades. Where were those today? Well, I think your highest probability trade the whole day was the longs this morning for the CCV setup, to be honest with you. And I think you've just had the one trade today, in my honest opinion. Yeah, that really is my opinion on that. Looking for the CCV setup, and obviously that is a profitable setup. But going forward, like now, if I was in no position at all, I personally wouldn't trade where we are here. I wouldn't take a long and I wouldn't take a short. I also wouldn't have shorted above this high. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have shorted above that high. So I would be patient. I would still wait for higher, or I would wait for a drop now for the next trade. So we will put on an alert here and see if we get this. That's where I'd be happy to scalp a long, and we'll keep this alert here for the high, and then we can just wait. And I think this is a really, 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 really important, not really a skill, but just an important trait of a trader, and that is to have patience. Okay, that is to have patience, because what you can fall into the category of is, you know, seeing this move and you might be like, oh, this is such a massive move to the downside. Like, oh my God, this is so big. And then you go off of a 1 minute chart and you're like, okay, it's not really anything, is it? Okay, when you zoom out, this is not really anything. It's just when you're on the 1 minute chart here, you might be thinking, oh my God, this is the end of the world. Well, it's really not. It's really not the end of the world. You know, there's, you know, e.g., why would I you know, I just really want to emphasize here that it's just so important that you understand, if you want to be consistent over the long term, do not get worried about these sort of things. Do not be scared about this sort of move. This is your classic example of chop. Why is it choppy? Because everybody's just closing their positions right now. People are closing longs, people are closing shorts. And you're not, you know, yeah, I would say that this is just like a classic example of chop. And why would you want to trade chop? That's what I would ask. Why would you want to trade chop? I do think that this was a good take profit, but I do not think that was a good short, even though it played out. So even though it played out, I still wouldn't have classed that as a good short position, but I would have classed it as a good take profit on a long. And there's a difference between that. Like earlier, where I was saying that this was a good take profit on a long, I also wouldn't have shorted that down to here. Why? Because I'm still looking for higher. And the same here. I think this was a good take profit on a long, but I do not think that was a good short. Even though it worked here, even though it would have worked here, I wouldn't have shorted either of those levels. But I would say that they're good take profit levels. Okay? So I hope that also makes sense. If we come down on a lower term time frame, so you can see you've seen a little bit of open interest increase, but this is like 700 grand. It's like the very, very, very little volume. So it does look like you are going to get a bit of curling up price action. Going to drop down to our support line here. Open interest still decreasing, by the way. So this is still profit taking. And here we go. So this was, when I was mentioning the three supports, we are at our last of the third. Oh my God, look at this. Now loads of people are getting liquidated. It looks like we're going to still continue to push. There are now lots of people getting I don't understand how, but a lot of people are getting liquidated in terms of just generally in the market. These signal liquidations. So, well, this is the thing. So the only people that could get liquidated on this are people that literally bought the absolute high. And so this is why the market's crazy. Like this is obviously targets for taking profits, and people have got liquidated, which means that they are longing resistance. You know how, I just think it's crazy. Like people are basically buying out of FOMO. People have bought out of FOMO and now they are literally getting liquidated. Like you can see here, this is big liquidations, which is really, really, really crazy when you think about that for a second. Like people are losing millions of dollars because they have literally tried to buy resistance, literally that's the reason they have tried to buy resistance, which I do think is crazy. But hey, this is the thing. Some people have to make money. Some people have to lose money. It's a zero-sum game. Like you cannot feel sorry for those people, but you do have to think that that's really crazy. No. But obviously you've come down to your first support region. Well, not first, really. I would say it was your third. You had 59,200, which it gave an initial bounce, but very, 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 very weak. And then you instantly saw that 6 million sell order. The thing is, somebody wanted to hold it down, basically. You had the 6 million sell order that popped up at the highs, which gave you your initial drop to 59,200, where you got another bounce. You had the sell order of 6 million pop up again, which brought you down another section. And let me see if we're getting sell orders popping up again. I need to check this on my phone. I downloaded the software only on my phone. Yeah, you have. I'm not sure why there's so many sell orders coming up, but yeah, you got literally another 5 million sell order. Yeah, I mean, you've still got the guy with 6 million sell orders popping it up, but you know, this is the thing. So if you do see these sort of quote unquote like big sell orders, this is what's forcing everybody to market sell. And this was 100% market selling. Like this was all market selling. And I suppose what is, you know, why is this being efficient here? Because if people see like a 6 million sell order, and again, I want to emphasize this is all profit taking. Even now, this is all profit taking, heavy profit taking, but still profit taking. You know, if they've got a massive sell order in front of them, they're just clicking market, like get me out of this trade. I want to take my profits. I don't want to hold it on another $10, another $100, another $1,000. I want to get out with my profits now. And that's really what happened here. You know, 6 million sell order come up, bam. Got another rise, it come back up again, bam. And I don't even know why, like I don't really know why they've still got 6 million sell orders coming up here, but they've still got the 6 million sell orders. Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy. Yeah. But the thing is, I also personally, I would never, ever, ever short what we are here. I just would never, ever short this. And this is the thing, even if it pushes down more, it pushes down more. But I honestly would just not ever short this. I really honestly wouldn't. We just don't have enough, you know, you don't have enough ingredients to warrant a short position. I just think it's so important to remember that this is formed by decreases in open interest. This is formed by profit taking. You haven't hit major liquidity. Obviously, we hit a major high. And personally, I think it was a good idea to take profits at a high, but I do not think it was a good time to short. We got some new comments here, so let me see this. At the 1 hour time frame between the 13th of February to today. 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame between 13th of February. Right. So the 13th, I'm trying to understand this. Is it more probable a bat or butterfly forming? From the 13th. I personally wouldn't say either. I personally wouldn't say you have a bat or a butterfly. I wouldn't class any of this as a harmonic. I guess you could class it as a cipher. If you really want, you could say this is a cipher pattern because you obviously breached the high, low, high, low, high. You could class it as a cipher. You could class it as a butterfly. Yes. I definitely would not class it as a bat. Bat is totally invalid. So yeah, of everything, you could class it as a butterfly. Yes. But I personally wouldn't trade it as a butterfly, but technically it's possible butterfly, yes. Would Confluence 1.2 fib extension long and then 60,320, 60,320. for me, the really important resistance is, oh, did I delete it all? Oh, no, I didn't. 60,100 and about, give or take $20, 60,116. If we manage to, you know, over the course of the weekend or whatever, however long it might take, if we manage to clear this resistance, the next level above you is, if I remember correctly, 61,600. And if you clear that, it's all-time highs. Would I short? So the question of the guy is 60,320. So basically here, is this a good short is his question. I'm gonna be hesitant and say I'm gonna have to say no. I would probably say no. It isn't a good short. Again, I don't want to influence your decision. I don't want to tell you what to do. No financial advice, and this is why I always have to be a bit careful when people don't ask directly these sort of questions, because I really don't want to influence what you do. But I personally would probably not short this, because we've already tested it once. If we test it again, we will have broken out of this trend line. I mean, it could work out. Of course, it could work out. Anything can happen in trading. Like, literally anything can happen in trading. But I would be cautious. I would be cautious. I feel the first time you test the level, really good short. But the second time you test it, yeah, you know, yeah, it can work. But if we test it a third time, fourth time, obviously, you know, you're never going to take the trade. So to answer your question, I would personally do what I love to do and set an alert. Set an alert, look at the volume, look at the open interest. Yeah, and then make an informed decision. I wouldn't just blindly short it, I must admit. I wouldn't blindly short it, because we would have be seeing, like, yeah, I would just set an alert and look at the volume and open interest as you hit the level. To be honest with you, mate, that's what I would give us non-financial advice. Dan, do you think bigger traders waited for the breakout to fill their shorts? No. I do not think so, because it was definitely profit taking. So nobody really filled a really big short up here. So nobody filled a big short here, because all of the open interest was totally down. So this really was just profit taking. Like this really is just profit taking. So the question is, did somebody fill a big short position here? And the answer is no. This was literally just profit taking. And I don't think that this was, you know, you cannot think that that is a massive surprise, because you're literally coming up to heavy targets for day traders anyway. Like, you're literally coming up to heavy targets. So I do not think that you can be surprised that you come up to a target zone and people take profits. Like, that really should not be a surprise to anybody watching the video. That surprise, you come up to targets and people take profits. And that is exactly what happens. You come up to your target zones, and you can see here, this is profit taking. All of it's profit taking. This was all longs closing. So I don't really think it's a surprise, to be honest with you, that people took profits there. But to answer your question, no, I don't think anybody has filled a big short there. Obviously, those sell orders can also be profit taking. So the person that's put in a 6 million sell order, it can be a long of 6 million that wants to get out at a limit order rather than market. Obviously, if you 6 million, you're going to be paying a few thousand in fees. So, you know, the limit orders help to get out like that. Yeah. But sometimes, yeah, sometimes I just think you just want to have a lot of patience. You want to have a lot of patience, not really get involved in like the choppy areas. And like, I really feel that this is a bit choppy now. I wouldn't even be that interested in it. You know, of course, you can always long and you can always short. But I'm just going to say it once again, you want to wait for the high probability trades. Okay, and you sometimes will only have one or two of those a day. All I can know off the data that I have here is I wouldn't short. Like that's all I can take from the data that I have here. I would not short it. Okay, that's from the information I am given, I can make an informed decision of knowing I would not short this. Why? Because we hit a level, price retraced on profit taking to a support zone. I personally would I would not short this. And that's the only decision that I can make. Okay, that's the only decision I can make off the data that I'm given. And I would not short this now. Yeah, and that's for me an absolute certainty, like an absolute fact. Like, would definitely not short this. And I also would not have shorted this high. So all of this move, I think that was a good take profit, but I would not have shorted it. And I definitely 100 million% would not short where we are here. Like, this would be suicide. But yeah, that really is my thoughts on Bitcoin locally. We had the move up to our CCV target zone, right on time, which I just think was absolutely hilarious. Heavy profit taking from many traders. And yeah, we make our way down to our support. And hey, there's a bit of defense coming in here. Nothing crazy, but yeah, anybody that's shorting here is absolutely crazy. But like I would say, anybody that's longing here, this is absolutely madness. This is absolute madness. And people are literally, where was it? People are literally getting liquidated as support. Like, when I say 95% of traders lose money, why is this? It's because they are FOMO longing, where your good traders are taking profits. And then, in what world is this a good long position? Like, in what world is that a good long? I suppose people thinking that this is a breakout, but if you just know not to trade breakouts, you would know you would never ever long this in the world. And you would never ever short this. Like, I would never ever short this. But what is happening is here you have a high where your good traders are taking profits, retail long, down. I mean, it's crazy, but you get liquidations at support. And I guess people are now panicking where they might be selling. Like, I do think it's a really weird time to sell. But hey, some people are selling. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about that, really, apart from there were people buying the highs when some people were taking profits, which is a crazy idea. And now you're back to support and people are getting liquidated on their long positions, which is painful to say, but hey, you have to have these sort of traders in the market. You have to have those sort of traders in the market. What can I say? You do. You just have to have them on. Yeah, so if you have any other questions, let me know. I think this was a really, 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 really good live stream, though. I'm really, 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 really happy with it. We talked you through this. Icing on the cake was we got that move up. I am literally, not going to lie, very content that happened. What can I say? Very, very, very happy that happened. And then you saw a little bit of bonus footage with me talking you through why we monitor the open interest. It's, this is such an advantage to monitor. Again, if you want to monitor that for free, you can monitor it on Bybit for absolutely free. If you don't want to pay, I'm not trying to force people to sign up to things. Like, if you want to monitor it for free, Bybit. Like, Bybit lets you monitor that information of open interest for absolutely free. Okay, so you don't have to pay for anything if you don't want to. My throat is dying, I'm not going to lie. Let's try and read some of these questions. My eye drawn to this one. Daniel, I love you. You're honestly a great man and humble. Thank you so much, George. I like that. Everyone is a technical trader until Dan appears. Dan, can you look at the higher term time frames? I will. Nevers Zoon says, made some money during this stream. That is brilliant, mate. I'm happy. I am happy that you made some money during the stream. Obviously, I want to stress no financial advice I've given. So if you've made money, you've done it on your own work, and that's good to know, mate. 10 out of 10 live stream. Really good to hear. I honestly am going to have to split this one into part 2. If you are a long-term subscriber, you also know I have major throat problems. And my throat is already dying. And these are the things that I take every single stream. I'll show you. Because I have really, really, really bad throat. And I get it from speaking long periods of time, you know. And I'm starting to get it. I can feel it. So I do think I'm going to have to split this one into 2 parts. But I don't think it's like the end of the world if I split this into 2 parts. I feel we've had a really, really, really good live stream today. And then the next part, we won't have to go through any prior stuff, and we can just go straight into the action. You know, we can just go straight into the action. This is still pretty choppy in my opinion. You know, it's still pretty choppy, but obviously you're bouncing. And this is the thing. Just I will end with repeating this one more time. We came up to take profit zone, and I want to say retail, or your not in the know traders are longing. They are getting liquidated. This shows liquidations. They are getting liquidated at support. I really don't know what to say. Like, that is just absolutely mental. When price moves up, you look to take profits on longs or shorts. If price moves down, you look to take profits on shorts or longs. Longing up here is just the worst idea in the world, and shorting down here is an even worse idea. Like, shorting here is suicide. Yeah, longing here is suicide. I would never long that in my life. I would never short this in my life, because I only look for shorts when price goes up and I only look for longs when price goes down. But these liquidations literally show you that people were longing this, which I feel greatly sorry for them, because that's a really bad, really weird trade. But people longing into literally like CCV targets, which is just really bad idea. Like, you never want to long into take profit targets, because what does it mean? To take profit, you are selling. You're not shorting, but you are selling what you own. And then you move down, these people are getting liquidated, as we can see here, and this is a support zone. It's just really, really crazy. And why is that happening? Well, they don't have a plan. The only people, I'm emphasizing this not to be mean, not to make fun of people. You know, I'm not doing it to be mean. I'm just doing it to be real. Like, the only people that have longed up here are people with no plan. And they have seen this move to the upside, and they have FOMO'd in. They've thought, I cannot wait on the sidelines any longer. I need to get into the market. You know, they've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting to buy. Maybe they've been waiting for a drop all day, and they weren't aware of where they should have been buying, which is obviously at your support. You know, maybe these people have been waiting all day to buy. They've been waiting maybe for here. They missed the long opportunity here, and they're waiting to buy. Price then has a really big move to the upside, and they've thought to themselves, I cannot wait any longer. I need to get in. Otherwise, I'm going to miss the move. What happens? They buy. A few minutes later, bam. The only people the only person that's buying up here is somebody that was not planned. Because if you are planned, there's no way you are ever longing this. And there's no way you are ever shorting this. Who is shorting this? People that have seen this drop. They didn't know that this was a support, and they've panicked. The only way you are selling this is out of fear and panic. The only way you are longing this is out of fear of missing out and thinking you're going to miss the move. No, that really is the only people that... So e.g., you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. If you are aware of your regions of resistance here, I think you take profits on longs. If you're aware of your support once, twice, 3 times, you can naturally look for longs. All I would say is the more times you test the level, the weaker it gets. So, for example, third touch for me is a bit of a risky long, but, you know, especially if we touch this again the 4th time, you know, the weaker this is going to get. So just remember that. The third touch is acceptable, but I much prefer to long things the first and second time. The third touch is a bit, I don't know, don't like it. But at the end of the day, the only thing that we're recognizing is this is a take profit zone for CCV targets. This is, if anything, your long zone. This is definitely not a long zone up here. This is definitely not a short zone here. And I suppose, how are we getting this information, ladies and gentlemen? We are looking at the open interest. We're looking at the volume. We are mapping out our support and resistance zones in advance. Yeah. What can I say? You know, and at the end of the day, why are you looking at this information? It's giving you information to know, do I want a long here? Do I want a short here? That's the only information that I was given off of that open interest. I knew personally that I didn't want a short here. Didn't want a short here. And this is the thing. You might say to yourself, oh, dang you, if you had shorted this high, you would have made money. Of course, if I had shorted this, I would have made money. But what I'm thinking to myself is, this is a good take profit, but I don't want to short this, even though it could have made money. You could say that all the time. If I had shorted here, I could have made money. If you shorted here, I could have made money. Shorted here, I could have made money. Shorted here, I could have made money. But this is a gamble. This is a gamble. Anywhere you can make money. You know, you could have shorted here and made money, but you can see how this is a gamble. Why? Because you don't have those high probabilities. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to removing the gambler's mindset and integrating yourself into a trader's mindset. And that all comes about by doing your technical analysis, making your plans, knowing where you want to buy, knowing where you want to sell. And that at the end of the day should generally be, you want to look for your longs at support. And I think the best support of the day was here, or here, if I'm totally honest with you. And then obviously where we've rejected here, we've come up to our CCV. So, and obviously simultaneously at the same time, you're taking highs. Okay, so I wouldn't class this as a swing failure pattern myself. I wouldn't class that as a swing failure, but it's still, at the end of the day, you've come above the high and you've tried to backtest it. You've lost it. In the end, you really dropped down. So you're going to have to zoom on a very low time frame to see this. But essentially, you know, on the 1 second chart, you've lost it, you've backtested it, you've moved down again. That's not really the most bearish thing I've ever seen. And I really wouldn't be surprised that this is just an intraday drop and we do overall carry on upwards. You know, this was a shakeout. I think this was a shakeout of longs before we continue upwards. Based off the information that I have now, that's what I think. Again, I can be wrong. But would you want to bet against me that I'm going to be wrong on it? I don't know. Maybe you do want to bet against me. But personally, my opinion is this is just a shakeout before it continues up again. Based off of the information and the statistics that I've gathered, the information that I have no reason to think this is a bearish move. Okay. Again, this could just be locally. Okay, locally, I'm talking about 5-minute, 10-minute time frames. We're not looking at here at the 4-hour and the high term time frames. But locally here, there's no reason to think this is a major high. We have not lost support. You know, once again, I just want to emphasize, if we lose support, things can change. Okay, if we lose this major support, things can change. But as it stands, it's holding. I really need to wrap this up. My throat is dying. I'm really sorry. I do need to wrap it up. I'll do these 2 last questions before we end. Dan, the same thing 30 times. I'm going to do a high term time frame in the next video because I'm going to struggle otherwise. I don't want to die in the video. I'll do high term time frame in my next video. I promise you 100%, and we'll just go straight to the high term time frame. And this guy says, aren't you afraid that 2 minutes? Honestly, no, because I personally am pretty certain. I've done this video to 3,200 people. How many people do I think that are actually going to put in the time to learn? I can almost guarantee that maybe pushing it 5%, maybe likely only 2% of the people watching this are actually going to study and learn. So my honestly, I have no fear people learning the setups are going to like invalidate them, because I truly believe I can share this with 3,000 people. The people that will actually bother to learn it are probably 30 people. So, you know, when you look at the statistics of people that actually put in the time, put in the effort, it's such a low percentage. I truly feel I have absolutely nothing to worry about by sharing my methods, because the percentage of people that are actually going to try is so low. Yeah, honestly. And for the people that do put in the time and effort, hey, I tip my hat to you, and I want that. Like, I want to see people using the methods, but I honestly know for a fact the majority of people are not even going to bother. You know, that's just is what happens. Fantastic stream. Appreciate what you do. You're absolutely welcome. And the last comment here before we end. Well done, mate. You smashed it today with the stream. I think a lot of people walked away with so much valuable info. Very much appreciated. And you are very much appreciated too, Haymaker. Thank you ever so much, everyone. I must stress that I do apologize that I am wrapping it up early before I get to the high term time frame stuff. Trust me, it's not the end of the world. It's not a massive thing. It's just, hey, the next video that I do, which is probably I'm doing videos every single day. I will just cover the high term time frame as soon as we get into the video. Like, as soon as we get into the video, I'll do the high term time frame stuff for you. So do not worry. You know, I still feel we've had a really good session today. I've talked you through the 5 trades, which honestly have been exact highs 3 times, exact lows, if you include that long from today. And then another exact low. And personally, I'll just end with this. As far as it stands, I'm looking for another push to the upside here. Okay. And the top of the trend line here is coming in 59,700. So I think it would be nice to test that. So I'll give you that before we end. 59,700 as a resistance. Weekly, obviously, still important support. 57,452. And your intraday support there, which was your last and most important, is coming in at about, now this is always changing, $58,314. Okay. So very important support. Very important resistance here. And intermediate, we obviously have this point of control, which is around 58,800, which is, you wouldn't really want to trade off this level. It's just a level you want to be aware of. Why would you not trade this? Because it's right in the middle of the range. So you don't want to trade off of this. You just want to be aware of it, because it can offer an SR level. So it can offer support and it can offer resistance, but you wouldn't want to trade it. It's just the level you're aware of. Okay. I just need to stress that. I would not trade off of this, but I would be aware of it. And that's about 58,800. Okay. This is a level where I would short. I'd be open to shorting. Personally, I wouldn't have longed this because this was the 3rd touch of the level. Hey, it worked. Basically, I wouldn't have shorted here and it worked. I wouldn't have longed here and it worked. But hey, this is just trading for you. But what I can say is high probability shorts when you come up to the highs, high probability longs when you come down to your lows like this, weekly support line, big resistance trend. Well, I'd be less confident on the short, I'm not going to lie, but you know, this is a really high probability trade. 90% probability you bounce. Okay. You get it. You get your 1 trade in the day. You can long here, take profit above the highs. You are absolutely buzzing today because you've made a lot of money. You start to then take a really nice trade and throw it away by taking a really bad trade here, really bad trade here, really bad trade here, bad trade here, bad trade here. You know, you start throwing it away with random trades. You turn a really good win and suddenly you throw away all your profits by being impatient. You know, you just have to have the patience. Sometimes you only have 1 trade a day. And I feel your trade today was the CCV trade, which was a long. And at the very least, you'd have hit a take profit now. So like that 1 trade has guaranteed you money. The other trades in the day, hey, they're nice. They're there. But they're not needed per se. They're not needed. You want to take your highest probability. That's a 90% trade, you know, 90% trade. Literally anybody inside of the group that has traded the CCV setup has 100% made money. That's the only guarantee that I know. Anybody that's traded that has made money. So, yeah. I think that's everything that I wanted to mention. I'll just show you this. These are the money shots. There you go. You see people taking profit. Close price 59,152. Close price 59,465. Close price 59,546. In the past three days, I've made full-time monthly salary times 5, covered 50% of the losses I've made before joining Chart Champions. Hoping to get, look at this. People in the Champions group knew to take profits. 59,546. What was the high? 59,550. I mean, what I'm going to say is the trades do the talking. Trader R with his short position, 63,300. Hey, Trader R, you shorted it, mate. You shorted it. You done better than me. But yeah, look at this. Sniper entry from the CCV setup. People closing. Hey. Thanks, Dan. Made 0.0013 Bitcoin, selling spot and rebuying. $30. Well done, mate. Made $30. This guy's got back with his Audis. But hey, what can I say? This is the guy. This is the guy that gave this testimonial. So if you wanted to read his testimonial, this was his testimonial where he's literally saying he is paying for his membership by following what we do. And there is his money shot from trading that setup. There's his money shot during the stream. There was his testimonial. If you want to pause and read that again, what can I say? We are making winners right now. We are making champions. And that's what I'm all about. So, yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed. I will do a part 2 of this. And, yeah, we'll go over the higher term time frame. Apologies we didn't get to it tonight, but I'm sure you understand. If I go on for any more, I'm going to die. Metaphorically. But yeah, thanks everybody ever so much. And I'll catch you in the next live stream, hopefully tomorrow. So cheers everybody, thank you. And oh yeah, I was gonna end talking about this. Obviously all of our information and charts are over at chartchampions.com should you want any more information. Yeah, so you can check the website if you want more. For everybody else, hope you've enjoyed. Thank you ever so much and goodbye.